food to survive. I don't know how I would survive on a liquid diet. I don't even remember my eyes closing, but I do remember waking up with extreme back pain. I would keep my meals in that thought process. You're gonna lose hair here, and if I have to cut my hair off, I will. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Shakaya Alicia, and I just want to talk to you about my journey with VSG. I am 1 year post-op. Now I still do. I post videos on TikTok. And I'm saying used to because TikTok is going away. I have my little iPad here. Okay, I'm an iPad girl, just so I can stay organized for you. I started the process for VSG, I want to say spring of 2023. I was 320 pounds and I was feeling sharp pains in my back. I was uncomfortable. I was having problems breathing. And there was a lot of things happening to my body after I surpassed 300 pounds that I was not experiencing when I was like in the 200s. And I've been in the 200s, I want to say maybe since like the beginning of high school, possibly middle school. Okay, I was kind of chunky growing up, but also that's because I have PCOS and I struggled with that as a young child. So I applied in spring of 2023 once I realized that the struggles weren't ending. I couldn't get myself on track. And I just felt like it could do positives for me. I grew up watching my mom go on her VSG journey. Well, I won't even say grew up. My mom got VSG, I want to say 2019, and I saw the positive things it did with her life. I was never against getting weight loss surgeries or things that could help you improve your life. So, you know, just seeing her journey and what she had to do and the positive things that it has done for her, I felt like it was something that I could do as well. So I applied at 320 pounds, and it took a couple of weeks for them to get back to me. So it took them a while to get back to me. So I was like, oh, they're just not, maybe it's not for me, maybe I'm not a great candidate. So I just started doing things like meal prepping and trying to exercise and do what I can. Like I said, I have PCOS, so all of my weight loss was like very, very slow. And then even if I ate one thing, it would take all of that away. So it was a very hard journey before this surgery. After a month, I finally got a call back to get like an appointment. So I scheduled my appointment and they pretty much listed out everything that I would need to do. So during my journey, I worked with a surgeon, a dietitian, a physiologist, and a therapist. Okay. And I really like that about my hospital because not everybody gets that. And I'm not judging anyone who got theirs overseas or anything like that, but not everybody gets to work with a physiologist, a therapist, their surgeon, or or a dietitian. So a lot of people are out here with the surgery not knowing exactly what they need to do. So I appreciate my care team because they prepared me fully and let me know what I was getting ready to get into. My healthcare provider required me to take 3 nutrition classes with my dietitian and my physiologist. They required me to lose a certain amount of weight before surgery. When I went into my initial appointment where they weighed me and everything, I believe I was 315 maybe. About 315, 310, somewhere in that range. And she was like, we only want you to lose possibly 10, 20 pounds because the way my body mass, I'm heavy up top and I'm not that heavy in my legs. So she really only wanted me to lose 10 to 20 pounds. I was required to have a session with a therapist. I had to talk through life, what it was like growing up. I also talked about how I became big, what I grew up on, what was normal for me, and things that I had to change. And she also gave advice, and she also let me know that I can still come to her today if I wanted to have a therapist, because that's one thing that a lot of people miss in this journey. So a lot of people really do need to talk to a therapist because maybe you're having a hard time dealing with your post-op experience, your eating experience, your new dating life, the way people treat you now that you lose weight. It's good to have a therapist for that. Now, I'm telling you that but I have not seen that therapist since. And that's something that I want to change in 2025. I want to get therapy. I don't think I necessarily need it for this surgery, but just for early on childhood, growing up stuff. Early December 2023, I got the call for surgery, as in on this call, they let me know what my surgery date was, and they told me to immediately go on a moderate diet. So there's a moderate diet and then there's a liquid diet. I had to do the moderate diet, which was just lean meat and a veggie. So I could have 2 moderate meals a day, and then I had to have protein shakes, and I needed to make sure I got in 80 grams of protein per day. I was super thankful for that because I wasn't sure how I was going to survive on a liquid diet. I watched plenty of TikToks and YouTubes of people who was doing liquid diets, and how I was not sure what kind of game plan I was going to come up with, because literally we need food to survive. I don't know how I would survive on a liquid diet, but I understand you would do protein drinks and stuff like that. There's tools out there for it. So we need food to survive. I don't know how I would survive on a liquid diet, but I understand you would do protein drinks and stuff like that. There's tools out there for it. So, but I was a little bit dramatic, but I'm happy that I was able to do the moderate diet. The only time I had to do the liquid diet was the day before, which was literally Christmas. Okay, Christmas 2023. I spent all day drinking Isopure drinks and drinking water. And thankfully, I had distractions. Like, we went to see The Color Purple in the show, and I wasn't tempted in any kind of way. I had my drink, and I just was watching, like, the movie. I didn't go to, like, any family dinners. I did visit family, but that was pretty much it. Like, I wasn't around temptation, and my mom was a great support. She made sure food was out the way. She made sure nobody came in trying to tempt me. Like I said, she had this surgery before, so she's been down this path. She's still a support for me today. Okay, my line. Okay, my lifeline. So I was sleeved on 12/26, and I just remember having heart palpitations. Not even heart palpitations. Like, my heart was literally racing because I've never did anything like this before. I've never gotten any kind of surgery. So to be going under the knife, it was a scary thing. And I don't like needles, but I wasn't worried about the needles at that point, because they also require you to go do a lot of, like, blood tests and all that. I've been poked enough in the pre-process, the process to getting it, okay? I was just scared of not waking up after getting on that table. I just remember when my surgeon came in, she was like, "It's time." I just remember being like, oh my God, just instantly put me to sleep, okay? They already had the needles in my arms and everything, but they had to roll me down to the room, transfer me to the table, okay? And I was like, I can't believe, I'm like looking at the surgery room and the lights and the tools. Like, I'm like, okay, this is a lot. And honestly, I was out like a light. I don't know what they did. It's like, oh, we're giving you something to calm your nerves, and then we'll give you the thing that puts you to sleep. I was like, okay, so they're gonna calm my nerves. I don't even remember my eyes closing, but I do remember waking up with extreme back pain, okay? In, like, what is that called? The post-surgery recovery room. I remember waking up with extreme back pain. And that's pretty much what my pain was like. So I didn't know what to expect. That's the other thing that I was afraid of. I was afraid that I was going to wake up and I was going to have all this pain in my stomach, and it's going to be like someone just cut me open. But that wasn't, it was a weird pain. It was just gas pain up my back. And all I could do was feel like all the pain that was just here, and it was just not going away no matter what position I was in. So when I woke up, there was like a nurse right next to me. She was getting like papers together, typing on the computer. And I'm just like, is there anything that I can take to put me back to sleep? Mind you, I just woke up. And then, like, she chuckled a little bit and she was just like, hey, actually, it's time for you to stay up. Like, we don't want you to go to sleep. We want you to get up and stay up. So I spent literally, I want to say possibly 30 minutes just tossing and turning and in pain, okay? And like I said, it was a pain I never experienced before. It was just gas pain, just up my back. So I just spent like the whole time like tossing and moving and turning my body. And then all I could remember is people coming in to visit me. So like my mom came to see me. Actually, my little cousin came to see me first, okay? And you know how your cousins are. She came in, she was like, why they got your lips in here dry and ashy? Ma'am, I'm not even worried about my lips right now. I am in pain. Okay, but that's her. Love her to death. But she came to visit me. My auntie came to see me, and then my grandma and my mom, they were able to come back there and sit with me. I had to wait. I want to say maybe like an hour for a room. But honestly, I was not counting. Okay, I was in pain, tossing and turning, and honestly, I was going in and out. So I was kind of falling asleep and then waking back up. But she wanted me to try to stay awake. So I will say one positive thing that I did that I always see people talk about with their journey. They actually would like get up as soon as they like woke up, because you need to walk as soon as you wake up, because what you're feeling in your back is gas and walking helps. So I like got up to use the restroom, and that was a breeze. There was no issue with like doing that. So like I got up, and I was just hoping like getting up would like stretch my back a little bit. The pain didn't go away. The pain was still there, but walking did feel better. So like I walked to the restroom. I would go in there, use the restroom. I looked at my stomach, which had like nothing but like patches on it and stuff like that. I couldn't see any of the scars or anything. So I got up to use the restroom, and then I would go back to my bed. People were visiting me, and then they finally rolled me into like a separate room, but not my official room, because they were waiting for rooms to open up in the surgery unit. So they just kept me comfortable. I don't think they gave me any medicine. Honestly, I can't remember. I was on whatever they had me on before. I was very loopy. When my mom and my grandma came back, they got me situated. So my mom came in and she put like pillows behind my back. My grandma made sure I was comfortable. And I just spent like that hour just like tossing and turning, getting up, going to the restroom and all that other stuff. So that whole like hour and a half was nothing but like me being like loopy, tossing and turning, and just little fragments of remembering people who came to like visit me. Because literally like my eyes would be closed, I would wake up and someone was standing right there like, oh hey. They'd be like, oh hey, how are you feeling? And I go back to sleep. So I don't really know what happened there. When I was finally let into a room, they transported me on the bed. Okay, this is where things got a little rocky. Okay, he was pushing me on that bed, but I don't know if he had a time to get me into that room, but he was going so fast. Or maybe that's just how it felt, but it literally felt like I was on a roller coaster, and of course I threw up. But I did not like, throw up out of nowhere. Like as soon as I got to the room, I was like, I gotta throw up, because why was he rolling the bed that fast? So I just went like, so I was like, hey, I have to throw up. They gave me like a barf bag, and I threw up. Of course, I'm throwing up nothing but liquids. And I'm like, oh, are you feeling nauseous? Not now, but I was. Okay, whoever that was, they rushed me to this room. So I finally was in the room. Okay, I have my night nurse got me situated. My mom got me situated. When I tell you I had maybe like 10-20 pillows on the bed with me, I had 10-20 pillows. Let me be real. I had maybe like 5-6 pillows on the bed with me. And then they had like this industrial heating pad, which I just had lined up on my back. Okay, my mom situated the pillows. She got the heating pad together. And then I laid on it. I finally felt comfortable. And then I was out like a light. I did wake up, I want to say, a couple more times to go use the restroom, and then I had to throw up again. And I think just because I was feeling nauseous, but my night nurse came in and she got all my medicine ready. They gave me meds through the IV. They gave me meds to like drink and swallow. So once I had all of those things in my system, I was out like a light. And they also had to shoot me, they had to give me a shot in my stomach. I can't remember what that shot is, but they just had to do that to help with the healing process. So I spent 3 days in the hospital, okay? There are people who go to the hospital and they're gone in the same day. Not me. It was so hard for me to get liquids in. Like, they would not release me until I got a certain amount of liquids in. They seen it was hard for me to like eat jello and all of that other stuff. It was just eating and drinking that stuff made my stomach weak. Okay. I would throw up drinking the water. That was just like the first 2 days. They also needed me to have a bowel movement, and I wasn't having one. So it took 3 days to achieve at least majority of that, because I was still struggling with water on the third day. But like, I was able to walk, I was going for walks, I was drinking more water without throwing up. I could eat jello, but the jello was gross. Okay, this surgery really changes your taste buds after, when you get it. So I was released from the hospital on the 29th of December. I took a 3-week medical leave from my job, and I'm so thankful for my job and its flexibility, because if I couldn't get that, I don't know what I would have did, but I was going to get that surgery regardless. But I was able to take a 3-week medical leave. I'm so happy that I took that, because it literally took 3 weeks for me to get myself together. So I spent 2 weeks on a liquid diet, which was no problem, because I barely wanted to eat anyway, with the way my stomach felt and everything was so new, and I hate throwing up. So I think that's what really gave me like some motivation. It's just like, I can sip on some stuff for like 3 weeks, because I barely want to eat anyway. Now, I did spend 3 weeks watching cooking shows. I don't know what that's about. I literally watch, what did I watch? Guy Fieri, what is that? Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Chopped. I was watching cooking shows heavy. And I think what's crazy is I wasn't starving, but obviously I was hungry. And watching that stuff, it was like, maybe that was my way of like missing food. TikTok with the mukbangs, like, I was watching some mukbangs. Not the messy, nasty ones, but like some people who's eating some food that look good. I was watching it, like, and I wasn't into mukbangs before, but maybe that was my way of like mentally eating or something. But I was watching food channels and all of that, and drinking protein. But also, that is how I got a lot of meal ideas, because I knew my soft food stage was coming, and then my regular food phase would be like after. I never really had to do a puree phase, but like, when I was watching those shows, I was taking down notes like, I think I want to make something like that. Like, that sounds interesting. I can make a healthier version of this. So that was what my 3 weeks was like. Of course, I went through New Year's on the 1st. I went through my birthday, which was on January 4th. And I was on a liquid diet both of those days, but I never felt without, if that made sense. So like, once again, my beautiful supportive mom, they had seafood on. Well, no, they did not have seafood. They had like broccoli casserole and wings and all of that for like New Year's, but she made me my own broth, because I was on a liquid diet, and I don't know what she put in that broth, but that was the best broth I've ever had in my life. But it was like some kind of chicken broth, and she added spices to it, and I swear it was like seafood broth, but like, when she showed me the pack, it wasn't seafood. It tastes like it had a little hot sauce to it. I don't know what she did, but she took care of me, and I was full. So I had that on New Year's. I had that for my birthday. I couldn't really eat anything on my birthday. I spent just holidays on a liquid diet, and it was a crazy time, but if it makes sense, I felt covered. I felt prepared. I didn't feel without. For 2 weeks, I was on liquid diet, and then the third week, the final week, that's when I was on my soft foods phase. So in the soft foods phase, I was eating things like eggs. I ate a lot of eggs, okay? I realized an over easy egg did me better than a scrambled egg. I got full off a scrambled egg. I don't know why. But I just did like a soft scrambled egg. I made like tuna. I made I had like crab cakes. Anything that was like soft, I had that. I made like a salmon lox dip, and I would smear it on like smoked salmon. So good. I had fun with it, okay? And then my mom also had like some gastric sleeve cookbooks around. I picked up some meals from there too. I had like a list of soft food items, but I never, of course, really got to have them because the soft food phase only lasted maybe, I want to say a week or two. So, and I have my handy dandy little book here too. My care team gave me like a full book, so it broke down like each phase. Phase one, I was in a liquid diet, and then 7 days post-op, I pretty much followed the instruction here. You see. So it said that I can have eggs, fat-free refried beans, cheese, plain Greek yogurt, modified tuna, or chicken salad. And those are just like a few options. So like I would keep my meals in that thought process. Like it needs to be something soft. So I would have like flavored Greek yogurts and things like that. So, and honestly, I spent most of that time just nervous because I told you I hate throwing up. I was nervous. So I was just thinking like, oh God, what if I eat this Greek yogurt and I throw up? I took everything like in baby bites. I literally had baby spoons. I had baby bowls. I had little bowls that you would think is just for dipping sauce, and I was using that like I was putting tuna in it. Like I played no games. I did not want to feel sick. I took it a bite at a time. That's what my first 3 weeks was like. And outside of that, the only complication I had, I never was like dehydrated or anything. I was getting my hydration in. I would literally stay up until I hit 80 fluid ounces of water or whatever. And my mom would be like, hey, you don't gotta do that, because she knows what kind of person I am. I'm very like meticulous, and I want to follow these rules because I don't want to be back in the hospital. But she was like, hey, it's okay. It's 12 a.m. Go to sleep. You got in some water for today. But I was like very serious. I was like, I'm going to get this bottle in, and it needs to be done by this hour. I'm going to drink this uncaffeinated tea. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So, and I'm still the same today. Like, please believe I have 3 beverages in here right now. I'll have tea with me right now. I have iced chai with me right now, which is also tea, but this is like my coffee cup. Keep a bottle specifically for water. You won't catch me. You won't catch me without my water bottle. I'm very meticulous when it comes to that stuff, and I wanted to make sure I got in my hydration because I didn't want to have to go back to the hospital. So as far as like complications, I didn't deal with hydration issues or anything like that. Instead, I had like a rash build across my stomach, and it was itching so bad. They had to prescribe me some kind of, and it wasn't calamine, but they had to prescribe me like a itch cream because that's how bad it was. I had rashes like around like my scars and everything, and you can't wash those yet because they're still healing. So like I would try to run hot water. I spent 3 weeks being itchy, and I hated that because I was off work. It was supposed to be a break. I was supposed to be relaxing, and I was relaxing, but I was itching. The rashes were around my scars. So, and you can't itch that, you can't wash that, you can't do anything. I pretty much suffered. Okay, I suffered. On the 4th week, I went back to work. So transitioning to work was interesting because the thing is, when you lose 80% of your stomach, you can't eat that much. So I was going to the office, I was taking lunches, and you know, in corporate America, they want to buy you food. They want you to eat. So like, I had to basically prep my senior leaders and say like, hey, I have to eat soft food, or I can't eat anything that harsh yet, or I haven't tried that yet. And they were all very understanding, but they were also trying to make sure I wasn't having like not bulimia, but they were trying to make sure I wasn't having like an eating disorder. So they were like, are you okay? I see you only eat this much. You you sure you don't want more? That's all you ate? So like I literally had to pull them to the side and be like, hey, I had weight loss surgery. I can only handle so much food. So most of my food ends up being leftovers. Okay. Sometimes I had to pass on like meals, or did I pass? Sometimes I would order something if it was okay. It was just interesting just prepping everybody because I could see the concern on people's face and I'd be like, yeah, I had a weight loss surgery. Like, I'll tell people. There are people who won't tell people. I'm going to tell people, like, hey, you're seeing me eat this much because I had a weight loss surgery. I don't have an eating disorder. I promise you. So let me get into the positives. And I had a video about my positives and my negatives on TikTok, but I'll just give my top 4 for each one and I'll go deeper into them. I found a new love for cooking and meal prepping. Now, a lot of people do not like to meal prep. I, on the other hand, found a love for it, okay? I used to be the same way. When I was in high school and college, I refused to cook. I'm stopping somewhere to eat. I'm going to see if my mom's cooking something. I'm going to go see if my grandma's cooking something. Somebody's cooking something, but I won't be cooking anything. That was how my mindset was before. I would go pick up food, Chipotle, McDonald's, whatever I wanted, and I would just spend my money on that. I would spend money on dining. Even like post college, like I was working late hours and like retail and all of that. I would go out to eat after with like one of my best friends, and we would just go out to eat all the time. Like that was my normal. I didn't care about eating leftovers. But with getting this surgery, you realize how much food that you waste. There is no dining out 5 times in a week for me. It's unrealistic because something is going to the trash. I eat out less now, and that is a positive for me. I decided like, hey, Mondays and sometimes Tuesdays, let's meal prep for the week. And let's make things that I actually love, things that give me balance, things that keeps it interesting. Because the thing about being healthy is people always give you boring recipes. I dislike boring recipes. Don't tell me to be healthy and then tell me to eat chicken and broccoli and rice. I want to try something new. So I started experimenting with my meals and cooking things that I love, things that I've tried. I've recreated meals that were unhealthy and made them healthier. And I'm 1 year deep into it. Not even 1 year, a little over a year deep into it. And I have learned so much. I have gained so much knowledge from it. I actually discovered that I love to cook, okay? I just didn't have time for it before. Okay, just as I was about to get into my positives, my camera died. So now it's nighttime, but shout out to me for having photography experience because I got lights, I got equipment. So right now my big light, photo light is brightening up my room. Now that I've had this surgery and after seeing how wasteful I can be with food because I can't even eat it. Like I can get a meal from some restaurant and that is going to last me 3 days. So imagine me getting meals every day, and then it's unrealistic. I've never been in the kitchen so much. I've been able to explore, have fun, do all the things cook all the things that I've never cooked before. There's still so many things I haven't tried, recipes that I want to master. I've been having fun with it, and I think that's the key for me. I can't eat things that sound boring. I can't eat things that I don't know, that's just mundane. It needs to excite me, or it needs to be something that I love. I have more energy for living, for life, okay? Now, what I mean by that is before, I was doing things, but I wasn't doing enough. I didn't have energy. I was always fatigued. I'm actually really good at exercising, okay? Exercising really gives me a boost, a confidence boost. It gives you, what is that? It's not endorphins. Is it endorphins? Listen, exercising gives me a boost. So I was exercising, but I'm exercising even more now. I have more energy to do everything. I want to try everything. I want to go new places. I want to go do new things. I'm not always fatigued and tired. Now with this surgery, I'm down almost 100 from my highest weight. I'm 95 down from my highest weight. Last time I checked, today I'm 225. I weighed myself on Friday, which was yesterday, and I was 225.7. So I'm 95 down from my highest standing weight. So now that I'm down, I feel lighter on my feet. You know, I'm up, I'm doing more, I have more energy, I don't feel groggy, I'm like more up, alive, and awake. And I don't know if it's also, well, I do know that it's also the vitamins. Our vitamins are connected to our, like, I guess, like our energy and our health line and all of that. So like you want to keep your vitamins going so that you can stay on like top, you know, so you can feel on top of the world, so you can feel confident. Vitamins definitely helped with that. Having constant periods. Last year, I successfully had the first time in a very, 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 very long time. Okay, for the first time in a very, 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 very long time, I had 12 periods in a row. Okay, and that is a major plus for me because I have PCOS. And the way PCOS affected my body is that it added to weight gain and it stopped me from having periods. I was going through high school, middle school, like having periods here and there, and the older I got, the worse it got. Last year, I had all 12 of my periods, and I have to celebrate that because I literally struggled with getting periods, okay? I struggled with my hormone imbalances. I struggled with my testosterone levels. So me having 12 periods starting from month one has been amazing. Portion control. So before I got surgery, I sucked at eating within the appropriate portions, okay? I ate double of whatever I loved. I would have twice the amount of mashed potatoes and macaroni. What I really struggled with was like sweets. So my portions on like sweets was extreme. Also I had issues with like food pairing. So like, let's say I'm going to buy snacks. I want snacks in every category, okay? So I want chips. And I don't just want one bag of chips. I want something cheesy and I want something spicy, okay? And then I want something sweet, but I don't just want sweets. I want a gummy candy. I want a cupcake. I want a chocolate candy because chocolate is my favorite. I have to get chocolate. Like, and then I just want like a range of things. I walk out of the store with like 10 snacks because I didn't hit every category. Now, and I say with this surgery, it really helped me get all of that under control. I'll be more aware of like how much I can eat of what. So like this week I had meal prepped like a chicken breast to eat with a Caesar salad. I can eat this chicken breast with a small Caesar salad, you know. I'm not going to have like this chicken breast on a bun with the large salad. That's unrealistic. When I eat wings, I know I can only eat four wingettes, okay? And if it's a full wing, I can eat 2 full wings. That's the max, okay? And that's the max period. I can't even eat that with a side. So I'm fully aware of what to put on my plate and where to start on my plate. So, and I just think that's a plus because that's really what I struggle with, like portion control and sweets. And that's also the thing with sweets. I can't eat sweets like I used to. Now I can eat them. People think that that is a problem because they want to have dumping syndrome when they eat sweets. And if you don't know what dumping syndrome is, dumping is a result of eating something that is, I don't want to say bad for us, but like your stomach is definitely not used to it. So dumping can happen with like anything. Sometimes people eat certain foods and that makes them dump. You never truly know what makes you dump, but sugar is one thing for sure that can make you dump if you eat too much of it. So with me, I can still eat sugar. I can get a nice regular sized piece of cake and I can eat that, you know. I can't do what I used to do. So like I would get a rich piece of cake from the Cheesecake Factory, tear it down. I can't do that now. If I go to the Cheesecake Factory, that cheesecake is gonna last me 2 days, okay? If I go to Nothing But Cake, that's gonna last me 2 days. I cannot eat a crumble cookie. Like certain things, like it's weird. Like certain things like that. I used to eat gummy candies. My stomach can't really tolerate gummy candies. And the thing is, I'm not really dumping. I can feel the uncomfortableness in my stomach. Like I can feel the pause, like the girl stop eating this. Like I can feel that happening when I eat like gummy candies or like a crumble cookie. Like, and when it comes to things like that, I'll just avoid those. But I still allow myself to indulge and eat sweets because I have a sweet tooth. I love to bake. It's just part of who I am. So when I got this surgery, I never expected me to completely get rid of sweets. I just wanted to learn how to eat them in moderation, and the surgery has did that for me. The waste of food. You can really waste a lot of food. Even when I meal prep, I waste food, and that's one of my goals in 2025 is to learn how to cook just enough for the week. Because the thing is, we can only eat so much food, and most of it ends up going to the trash. And if I eat out back to back, some of that is going to the trash. So like over the holidays, I went out to eat with like some of my friends, just back to back to back with no meal plan because I was off on PTO, enjoying life, blah blah blah. About half of that food was wasted. I just don't like wasting food like that, especially with the cost of groceries nowadays. Like, and then to throw a whole pot of something in the trash. So that's really something that I want to change in 2025. I want to cook just enough to last me 3 to 4 days. Hair loss. Now my hair is still here. It's still flourishing, okay? And I never was really concerned about losing hair. Like, you're gonna lose hair here, and if I have to cut my hair off, I will, and I will start from the beginning. Okay, I've been in all phases of life with this hair. I've had relaxed hair, I've had a pixie cut, I did the big chop, I had natural curls, okay, and now here I am with locks. Like, I have no problem with having a bariatric bob if I have to have one. I have lost a couple locks. I've lost like a few locks on my edges, and I don't know what it is. A lot of people who get this surgery always say how like the edges are like what goes, but I've lost like, I want to say a lock here and like a lock on my side and then like a lock in the back. But I have a loctician who takes care of my hair, and she'll just combine them with another one, or she'll just restart the twist from the beginning. So hair loss happens. I don't know if I'm gonna lose any more in the future. I am keeping track because like I have locks. I don't plan on living with like wigs or living with like 3 locks in my head. Like, if I keep losing them, then I'll just start from the beginning. But I feel like the hair loss has slowed down. PCOS, okay? Let's talk about PCOS. I've had PCOS my whole life, okay? It is the cause of weight gain, okay? Food affects our bodies different than other people's. It makes losing weight really hard. It can prevent you from getting pregnant. It can prevent you from having periods. There's so much tied into PCOS, and there are still women today that don't know that they have it because PCOS is deep into our community. There are so many people telling you how you should eat, and you should be gluten-free, dairy-free, carb-free. There's so much, and it's so difficult, and I feel like not enough doctors are taking the time to understand it. I have a OB/GYN. I have my primary physician, but I don't have a doctor that specializes in PCOS. Tell me how I should eat. You know, I could buy books, I could watch 1,000 YouTube videos, but there should really be doctors out there that specialize in it. And I'm sure there are, but maybe there just aren't any in my area, like in my city. PCOS did slow down my weight loss. And I mark it as a negative and a positive. So I mark it as a negative because if you get this surgery, you're expected to drop pounds, like month after month after month. You know, so if you're a woman going into this, you're like, oh my God, I'm not losing enough. The most I lost in a month was 15 pounds. So like my first 2 months, I lost 15 pounds, and then after that, it started dropping down. I have never been someone who lost 30 something pounds like in a month. 45, 50, like, and I knew that wasn't going to happen simply because how PCOS affected my weight loss before surgery. So if you're a woman with PCOS and you're aware of it before you get surgery, be aware that your weight loss might be a slow journey. I put it on the positive side because I haven't had any issues with loose skin yet. Like, there's some people who are like 6 months into their journey and they're, you know, they have a lot of loose skin on their arms and their stomach and their legs and all of that. But I haven't had to deal with that, but I also strength train. So I give PCOS a plus for that, but I give it a negative for making my journey slow. Getting nauseous when I take too long to eat. So I am a busy body, okay? I am always on the go, and that was an issue before I got surgery too. So like I would try to do a bunch of things before I finally ate. And then when I would finally eat, I would eat something big. Now I have to travel with a protein drink or a protein bar or something, like I need to get some protein in, because if I wait too long, I will get sick. Like I feel noxious like all over. Another thing, which I didn't even write down, but the foamies. Oh, you honestly shouldn't be getting the foamies because you're supposed to stop eating, when you feel full. But sometimes I'm not sure. Sometimes I fall victim to the one more bite, okay? And I'll take one more bite of something, and now all of a sudden I'm sick. But I know when I get foamies, I have like spit developing in my mouth, and it's just developing because it's like you want to throw up. So it's like pre-throw up, if that makes sense. Spit would develop in my mouth, and I will have to constantly spit it out, and I will have to do that until it passes through. And I can't just act like spit isn't developing in my mouth, because it is. And then there was one time I just tried to, because in my mind it's just spit, I was just like, okay, it's developing, but I'm just gonna swallow. Like, I hope this sucks. I'm sorry, but I was just like, let me swallow it. Like, so I would keep swallowing it. I'm not doing nothing but getting sicker. So you have to get it out. So like I have to go to the restroom, and I have to spit it out and spit it out and spit it out. The only time when that didn't work is when I ate some noodles. And y'all haven't ate noodles since, but I had some noodles, and then I had the foamies because they were swelling up in my stomach really bad. So I was just standing there. I was spinning out, but it wasn't passing. And when the foamies aren't passing, that's when the throw up is about to happen. So now that I am 1 year post-op, I feel great, and I'm excited for the future. I feel like in the next year, I will be able to go down more, and I will be able to tone up more, and certain parts of my body that I would like to get rid of will be going down, okay? So I'm looking forward to that and tackling that. I'm looking forward to diving deeper into my fitness journey because, like I said, I love working out, okay? It does it for me. Even if I'm not losing like weight, like it just does something for my mood, and it just gives me that boost. So I want to dive deeper into my fitness journey, okay? I want to do more serious strength training. I want to jog, okay? Now it's nothing to get on a treadmill and jog, but I'm just shy about it, okay? I'm also heavy chested, so I have to come up with a formula to how to do that comfortably. I'm going to continue meal prepping, and I'm going to continue sharing my meal plans in hopes that it helps others. The plan is to just keep everything in motion, continue working out, continue to meal prep, and I just want to develop a lifestyle where I'm not overwhelmed, because I can be easily overwhelmed. And it's also important that the lifestyle that I'm developing doesn't make me feel trapped, because a lot of people put themselves in boxes with this surgery. It's like, no, we can't do this, we can't do this, and they get in the habit of telling other people what they should and what they can't do. I don't want to feel trapped. I don't want to be put in a box. I want balance. I want to feel like I can still enjoy life. I want to be able to drink a glass of wine a night out with my friends. Like, I want to be able to eat a piece of cake for my birthday. I rarely go to weddings, so if I go to a wedding and they have wedding cake, I want some of that, I want to be able to do those things, and I want to do those things in moderation, of course. I can't do things the way I used to before. It's impossible. So I want to develop a lifestyle that works for me, and it's a natural flow for me, and it does not make me overwhelmed, and I just feel like I'm living life. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really thank you for watching. And if you want to go on this journey with me, you want to get some meal ideas, get some tips, please like and subscribe, okay? I'll be here, and this time I'll be here for a while, because I actually started this YouTube channel a very long time ago, and it was supposed to be for makeup and beauty, but listen, that was a past era. I did one video I got overwhelmed, and what I do, I left. But I have been very consistent with sharing my meals and blogging and doing all of that only for TikTok. So now that I'm spreading this across other social media platforms, I figure why not come to YouTube, okay? So if you are another bariatric patient and you are looking for someone to give you like some meal idea plans or a community, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.